Welcome to my channel, Maryam here. In today's video, we have another roundup video, the best of 2019 featuring eyeshadow palettes. You guys asked for it, I'm delivering. I rewatched all of my eyeshadow palette reviews from this year, and I made sure to compile a list of the best of the best. Guess which eyeshadow palette I am wearing on my face right now? JK, I am wearing all of the palettes that I will be mentioning in this video on my face right now. This is the look that I created. It was definitely a challenge because all of these palettes are different. I tried my best, but I like this look. That said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. Leave me your comments and questions down below. Make sure you are subscribed, hit that notification bell so you can see all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos. And now let's get to it. Best eyeshadow palettes of 2019. Team Truth, here we go. No makeup on my lids, but my lids are primed with my Fenty Beauty primer. The first palette that I am going to pull out is a relatively new palette, but it's a palette that I've been waiting for the entire year. It is Bare Necessities by ColourPop. This is a quintessential nude palette with tons of nude, neutral, warm, bronzy, brown, nudie, golden shades, anything and everything that you need for every day. And I was really pleasantly surprised with this palette. 30 shades, $34, not even $39 like I originally thought in my review video. Perfect for anyone who's used to wearing makeup or anyone who's dabbling into makeup, a makeup beginner. I think this is an awesome palette. I was pleasantly surprised by the swatches of this palette because if we watched my videos before, ColourPop shadows, in my opinion, can be either a hit or a miss. They could either swatch and perform really great or they could be really below average. I've experienced both, but not with this palette. So for today's video, we're keeping it fun. I'm going to be applying one or two shadows from each of the palettes that I'm going to be mentioning, starting with this ColourPop. Let me find a brush that's appropriate. How about this Wayne Goss number 04 brush? And I'm going to go for this shade here called Hot Gossip. Only thing that this palette is lacking is a great mirror, but that's okay. I have my trusty mirror right here. This is a really great neutral transition shade. And the cool thing about this palette is that it has plenty of neutral as well as cool and warm shades, all preferences. In my original review of this palette, I did a cool look on one eye and a warm look on the other eye. So definitely check that video out if you want more options with this palette. I'm gonna grab this shade Full Expose with a flat Wayne Goss brush, number 07, and I'm gonna clean up my brow bone just to add a bit of contrast and a bit of light. I can't say enough good things about this palette. So inexpensive, so perfect for anyone and everyone. Moving on to palette number 2, and in no particular order, I am going to whip out my Too Faced Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette. This one is not a limited edition palette. The Spice palette, also from the same Gingerbread family, is a limited edition, but this one is not. $49. Gorgeous, gorgeous shades, 18 of them all together. Tons of mattes, warm shades. I think this is perfect for those of you who are into warm shadows specifically. Has a nice sizable mirror, very cute Too Faced metal packaging that's very compact, actually pretty light, so easy to travel with. I love this palette. Definitely a holiday themed palette, perfect for the fall season into the winter, but it will also work throughout the year. It will work for every day, for night, for any occasion really. So I am going to grab a shade using my Wayne Goss 06 brush and grab this lovely In a Pinch peach shadow. Look how pigmented that is. You really see that shadow. And it's sticking to that base. And honestly, when a quality of an eyeshadow is great, it doesn't matter if you use it with other brands' eyeshadows. They all work together because they're all great. So keep that in mind. I would say that the mattes in this Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette are similar to the ColourPop mattes. They are very smooth, very buttery, easy to blend out, lots of pigment, not patchy whatsoever. And they're just so easy to apply. Look at that. Highly recommended. And did I mention it's also very warm and cozy and inviting? Not just with the packaging, but also with that scent. Next, I am going to pick out something different with a completely different color scheme from a different color family. I am talking about my favorite Huda beauty palette thus far, which is the Mercury Retrograde. This palette is striking. The moment I heard about this palette, I knew I wanted it. I knew I wanted to create looks with it. I just knew I had to have it. This is different to me. The color scheme isn't expected. It's not something that you've seen before. Not from Huda, not from any other brand. I love love this whole vibe, this very electric but also electronic sort of theme. I do think that the Mercury retrograde topic is clearly highly marketable. I don't know much about astronomy. I don't know if Huda and her team know anything about astronomy, but I really am drawn to it. This just seems kind of cool, you know? I'm into these shades. I love the fact that there's all these different textures in here, all the different shimmery shades, all the cool glitters, as well as these super beautiful buttery rich mattes. I love pastel eyeshadows. I feel like they're very flattering on someone of my complexion and my undertone. Let's apply these shadows, shall we? This palette is pricey, $67, 18 shades, and I think it's definitely a palette for color lovers, not for neutral lovers. I mean, sure, if you want to venture out, there are some neutral shades here, so this is probably a great palette for those of you who want to start playing with color but just don't know how. Grabbing a brush, I don't even know what I'm going for here. You know, let's do something fun. Let's do something different. I'm gonna go for this shade Galaxy. My voice just cracked? I don't know. I'm gonna use this shade as my inner corner highlighter just to give myself a slightly foiled feeling here. This is a ColourPop L1 brush. Also gonna add just a bit of that Galaxy right here, just underneath the brow arch for a nice subtle sparkle. That's pretty. Because I love this palette so much, I want to pick up another shade. Wayne Goss 05 brush. I'm gonna go for this lavender right here. This one's called Libra. I'm a Libra. How pretty is that? I'm gonna add that all the way across my lower lash line. I really have no idea what look I'm going for. I think I'm naturally just trying to make it work, but do I have an idea in mind? Nope. However, if you do want to see a look with any one of these palettes that I'm mentioning in this video, I will link them down below along with the purchase links. So make sure you read that description in its entirety. Cute. I swear, they really, really killed it with this palette. Like top 3 favorites. Yeah, I said that. Moving right along, palette number 4, and it is, again in no particular order, the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. So what makes this Natasha Denona palette really cool and kind of superior to other Natasha Denona palettes is the fact that it is $129 for 28 pans, whereas other Natasha Denona 28 pan palettes are almost $270, maybe $280. So the difference here is that the pans are slightly smaller. They're a little bit more compact. This is a palette that was marketed not just for the makeup artists, but for makeup enthusiasts as well. I know $129 still is not cheap, but it is significantly cheaper. And for the quality of Natasha Denona shadows, I feel like $129 is a really, really great deal. This is also a 5-year anniversary palette, the new midi size like I mentioned before. This is a really great fall to winter palette. There's 4 formulas in this palette: the creamy mattes, the shimmery shades, the duochromes, and chroma crystals. Boom. The only one tiny caveat with this palette is that there's a lot of these green aqua shades. If you are someone who's into greener shades, then you will love this palette. However, I do realize that there are a few people who just simply do not like green shadows. They steer away from them, they steer away from these blues. Keep that in mind when purchasing this palette. And now looking at myself in my monitor and looking at this palette, I have no idea which shadow to dip my finger into. I just made it really complicated for myself. Ooh, okay, I got it. There's a really pretty orangey golden shade here called Helena. So that is exactly what I'm gonna go for. All across my lid. Look at that, easy breezy. Kind of chose a very safe color combo, but better safe than sorry. Gonna close that one up for now. Yes, $129 is still kind of on the obscene side, but you get a lot for your buck here. I am gonna whip out a palette with the most gorgeous gold member packaging. Naked Honey from Urban Decay. Here she is in the flesh, looking so divine and even more glorious on the inside. Although I will say that this palette does not translate on camera. It looks so much better in person with the naked eye than it does with the iPhone camera or even with this professional setup here that I have with the lights. But in reality, in person, this is so stunning. I love the fact that there are several shimmery golden shades, not just the honey, but also the golden and queen and Amber, and HBIC, which is Head Bitch in Charge. I did not know that at the time of the review of this video. A lot of you guys called me out. Now I know. Thank you. We also have some really pretty ochre neutral shades like Swarm and Keeper, Hive, Drip, etc. This is, in my opinion, the perfect palette for someone who loves gold as much as I love gold. And I love gold a lot. I hardly ever wear silver. I feel like it just doesn't look as good on me as gold does. So if you are like me, then get yourself the Naked Honey. It's actually also pretty affordable. $49, 12 shades, gorgeous packaging. Again, if you love gold, if you love yellow, then this is the palette for you. Also, if you are a fan of the Naked series, then you gotta collect this one too. It's one of the better ones. I am going to dip my brush into the shade called Honey, just because it's such a pretty yellow gold that needs to be displayed. I'm gonna spray it with some MAC Fix Plus. And now I'm just gonna paint that mixture right here on the center of the lid. Is that not satisfying? Oh yeah. Of course, you can also apply the shadow dry, but I really wanted it to pop against that orangey peachy base. That's why I decided to use the Fix Plus. I would say this shade is probably the star player of this palette, which is why it's called Honey, and it's my favorite shade that I reach for pretty often. That's that. Next, we have a palette from Pat McGrath, Mothership 6 Midnight Sun palette. This palette here is one of my favorites from Pat McGrath because it actually has 7 different eyeshadow formulas within this 10-pan palette. That's pretty crazy. We have these amazing, unique, creamy mattes. We have this super different, creamy, glitter, shimmery shade. There's also this really fine glitter that looks ridiculous, just like stupid beautiful on its own. I love this shadow so much. Not to mention this shimmery shade that can also double as a highlighter. Not to mention this sun looking shade right here that's just so red and so sparkling and so foiled. This palette has got me feeling some type of way, you guys. All Pat McGrath Labs shadows are expensive, especially the 10-pan palettes. They are $125, which is even more expensive than the Natasha Denona palettes, given the fact that Natasha Denona offers you more colors for that amount of money. But Pat McGrath gives you more formulas, so I don't know. It's definitely a battle of the luxury palettes. They really know what they're doing, these ladies. Some of these shadows, honestly, I'm not gonna swatch them, but you should watch my video just for the swatches. They swatch like liquid silk, I'm not exaggerating. I am going to switch my brush and pick up a smaller brush. I'm gonna go for this purple. I haven't worn too much of this purple, but I feel like my eye look here could use it. I'm gonna add that to my lower lash line. Oh my god, that was necessary. So good. I'm just gonna sharpen and darken right here. I have a feeling this is another one of those shadows that could work wet, so I'm gonna spray some Fix Plus on the back of my hand. I'm gonna dip my brush into it, and let's see. Oh my, suddenly this shadow transformed into a liquid liner. Wow, wow, wow. I'm gonna leave that alone for now, but I am gonna try this shadow here just because it's one of my favorites. I love to wear on a bare lid with just some mascara and curled lashes, and honestly, it is such a vibe. I'm gonna just sprinkle that shadow right here. Look at that, so good. Pick some up on just the tip of my pinky, and I'm gonna add that over the gold. Yeah, closing her up, I think she speaks for herself. Pat McGrath palette, this Mothership 6 Midnight Sun. She is the one, you guys. We are almost at the end, you guys. Pulling up Natasha Denona's Sunrise palette, another one of my 2019 favorites, but this one is the most affordable 15-pan Natasha Denona palette. This one is $65. The Sunrise palette is the sister palette to Natasha Denona's original Sunset palette. So we had the Sunset, now we have the Sunrise. This palette is beautiful. I love the color combo. I think this is one of those palettes that can appeal to a lot of people. Those who love the neutrals, the shimmery shades for everyday, and also those who love color. I think this one incorporates both of those aspects really well, and the fact that it has 3 lovely yellows just hits home for me. And I also love these purpley shades here. This palette was a quick and easy hit with me. You can also expect the same great formula in this palette as with Natasha Denona's other palettes. Pans are just a little bit smaller, which is why the price cost is lower. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. Oh, I know. I'm gonna pick up this shade here called Glory. I'm gonna use that to add a bit more definition to this edge here. This look is coming together finally. I'm starting to see it. Using another wing gloss brush. This one is brush number 08. I'm gonna add a smidge of that pink right here to the outer lower lash line just to bring everything together. And I'm feeling like I want to pick up this shade here. This is kind of a orangey golden, something that I feel might go great right here. The next palette that I am loving for 2019 is from Dominique Cosmetics. Comes in a super cool makeup bag with a tassel. It is the Rustic Glam palette. What can I say about this $44 palette? I love everything about this palette, from the format to the cool octagon pans to the color scheme. This whole vibe reminds me of Princess Jasmine. It's just so exotic and it has this arabesque feel that I absolutely love for the summer. And this was a summer collection palette, so it was perfect for that time of the season. I love all the gorgeous blue shades, particularly this Evil Eye and also the Dreamcatcher. All of these shades swatched and performed beautifully. I do have a review on this palette as well, just like on all the palettes that I have mentioned. It speaks to me. I love how fresh it feels. I love the cool blue vibe, but it's not entirely blue because it has tons of warm wearable shades as well as metallic shades and just shadows that you can play around with. I also believe that Dominique Cosmetics truly delivers the best quality for the price. What are we feeling with this look? What are we missing here? I think I'm feeling this Dreamcatcher. Look how pigmented. I'm gonna add that to the very center of my lower lash line. I'm gonna add just a smidge of that right here. I think that works. I like it. Adds a little something. Very vibrant. I'm gonna go for one more shade, and it is this pink wildflower shade right here. Just gonna pick up a little bit, dust that off, and I'm gonna add a slight wash right here. Just like that, to extend that shape, but not necessarily add drama. Dominique Cosmetics, you guys killed it with this one. Last but not least, for today's 2019 best palettes, I am pulling out Charlotte Tilbury's Starry Eyes to Hypnotise palette. I just did a giveaway with this palette. Congratulations to the winner. What I like about the $75 palette is the fact that every single shadow performs really well. They swatch really well. They adhere well to the eye. It's actually a super easy to use palette. Whether you are a makeup artist or a makeup beginner, you can use this palette. I also really love this black eyeshadow. Not every single eyeshadow that I mentioned today includes a black eyeshadow, and even the ones that do, sometimes the black shadow is just so pigmented, it's almost difficult to use in the way that I want to use this shadow now. So here goes. I'm gonna pick up a tiny little pinpoint brush and just a smidge of that black shadow. I'm gonna start applying that to the outer edge of my top lash line just to darken this area. What I like about the application of this particular black eyeshadow is that it darkens without dirtying up the shadows around it and underneath it. It also doesn't move the other shadows, and it adheres to exactly where you place it, which makes it so useful and so easy to use. So this is the type of shadow that you can use to create shadow or to even use as an eyeliner or both. But you shouldn't get this palette solely for the black shadow. Every single eyeshadow in this palette performs really well, and I like the color story. I like the fact that there are 12 shades that are broken into 4 different categories for different situations and occasions, for a daytime or for a date or for something a little bit smokier and more nighttime. I am a fan and I highly recommend this palette to you guys. I'm gonna finish up this eye real quick. Gonna add some lashes and mascara, and I will be back for some final words and for some honorary mentions. Lashes, lips, and liner are on. For my lips, I am wearing Velvet Fawn from Lisa Eldridge. Love her lipsticks so much. They are gorge. Glamour lashes from Charlotte Tilbury. And of course, my chewing liner from The Balm Cosmetics on the inner corners and on the top lash line. This is the final look using all of my favorite palettes from 2019. This was definitely a challenge. I had a hard time coming up with a look using all of these very different palettes palettes together, but I think I was able to make it work somehow. I like this look, and although I have nowhere to go, I'm excited to be wearing it tonight. That said, I have two more palettes that I want to mention as my honorary mentions. These are limited edition palettes. One is a collab palette with my girl JACKIE. It's the JACKIE AINA X ABH palette that I love so much. This is a palette that I reach for often, and although it is a limited edition palette because it's in collaboration with an influencer and it won't be around for long, I think this is one of Anastasia's best palettes. I love the color compilation. I love the fact that it feels very festive, very nighttime appropriate. It has a lot of different color stories like the pink, the wine, the maroon, the golden, the warm, and you can totally get a lot of use out of this palette. I also really like Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows in general. I think her palettes are some of the best, especially for the money. And this palette at $45 is a steal. I won't talk about it too much, but just wanted to mention it because I do love it. And the final honorary mention for today's video is the Pure X Barbie collab. I absolutely love this palette. I love the color story. I think it's so quintessentially Barbie. It just screams 90s. It screams fun, childhood, festivities, and I'm into it. I love the fact that there's a really awesome glitter shade here. Everything swatches and performs beautifully. I have a video on this palette as well, and I highly recommend it to you guys if you can get your hands on it. This one is a steal at $34, and I am a big fan. And that concludes my video for today, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. Click on my other videos because I put them there for a reason. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.